All right, guys. Took the old engine apart and doesn't look too good because I wanted to do upgrades, but this engine still looks really, really good. Besides some typical piston scuffing, nothing major. Obviously, on the load side of the skirts, it's not too bad. There's still some cross hatching left in the cylinder. All of the main journals and rod journals are super smooth. A few very, very minor scratches we're going to micro polish out. All of the rod bearings look pretty damn good. No major wear. No major scratches. The rod bearings I think I'm going to let be. The main bearings looked the most beat up. They look pretty... that looks almost like it's scored, but it's still like smooth on the surface. So I think I'm just going to do new main bearings. Obviously, we're going to keep the same rings. We're just going to match them up back up to their bores. And at this point, the heads are actually going to get sent out to my good friend to get bigger valves put on them. Maybe we're going to try to re-weld this divider. This didn't quite work out as good as we thought it would, and we actually melted the alloy out of here. So, but we never lost power. So there was your myth busted about the center divider, about the olds. We never lost power. When we blew that shit out of the exhaust, we melted it. The camshaft had some on the journal of the cam. There was some similar scoring as to what was on the main bearing, but it was smooth. So I think I'm going to micro polish those surfaces up as well and do new cam bearings. And we'll get to use our Toombs Brothers tool, which is, let's see where it's at here. It is specific to the Oldsmobile camshaft. This is a foolproof tool to install your cam bearings on an Olds. So we get to use that, finally. I did get to use my Toombs Brother cam install tool as well. So yeah, everything looks good. I mean, really, I think I'm going to have to weigh it out. I didn't know that I still had stock bolts on the mains. So maybe we'll do ARP bolts and we'll align hone it. And maybe I will do new rods and a new balancer. I'm still rocking the stock balancer to 7,000 RPM, but you could see the alignment mark is still in place, so we're good. And I mean, it's like, should I even mess with it at this point or no? Like, I don't know. I don't think I'm making enough power to hurt anything. I think I just need to put it back together and call it good. This engine's been great, but with the cylinder head work, we might be making considerably more power because we're going to go to a much bigger valve. So we're going to need a new timing chain. The old timing chain was about as loose as a 50-year-old hooker. So it needs that. I am going to have the... I'm using a 5/16 3/8 stud, so I'm going to go to the 7/16. We're going to have the pads milled, go to the bigger studs, and I got Harlan Sharp sitting right here. That's going to be an upgrade as well. That's just better quality component. We're going to have the valve springs checked out. I'm going to rock the same cam if everything checks out. So really, there's not much I can do with this engine. There's no need to really mess with it. So the good thing is that I've been wanting to take this thing apart, and everything is actually still really good. So that's a big plus. And you know, we're going to try out our backup engine and see how well that does. And if that stays together, well, then we're just going to continuously run that engine until, you know, we're satisfied with what it's doing. And, you know, maybe it'll last as long as this one, because this one's still clearly lasting. There's nothing wrong with it. But it's been in use for 4 years. It's got over 200 passes on it, 3,000 street miles, and a ton of hard pulls on the street that I did testing. So this thing has seen a lot of abuse. And clearly you guys watched the video where like I've tickled north of 7,000 RPM with it. So I'm not afraid to beat on it. So yeah, between Thursday and Sunday, it's 3:30. I got a lot done. Pretty motivated. But I wanted to get everything out of the way, just done, so that next week I could just relax, focus on work. And then I have to bring the car back, put the hood on it. I have to get the slicks ready to be mounted. I'm going to run them without tubes, but I'm going to coat the inside with dish soap to cover up any little pores. And we're going to have them put on our 15x8 center lines. And we're still going to have our Hoosiers, our standard 28 10-15s. So this is a pretty general tire a lot of guys use. This is a little bit smaller, but for our power, it should definitely still work. It should probably have a little less rolling resistance as well. And without the tubes, again, a little less rolling resistance there as well. So there's that. So we'll let you guys go. Got a lot done. Share, like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, Scott Cutlass, and we'll see you guys around.